Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and remember, Context is Everything Media Network founder and CEO John Michael is reading a book. This is a self-help book called Dissolving the Ego and Realizing the Self. We're in the Realizing the Self section of the book in a chapter called Non-Duality. We're going to finish up this non-duality chapter today, and then I hope you have a lovely weekend. In devotional non-duality, the likelihood of error is bypassed by devotion to the essential nonlinear qualities of divinity itself, such as compassion, oneness, love, truth, omniscience, eternal, infinite, omnipresence, and omnipotence, beyond form, place, time, human instincts, or emotions. While the primary prerequisites for adherence to religion is faith, the essential required qualities needed for the following the pathway of non-duality are humanity, surrender, and devotional dedication to the pathway. It is readily observable that followers of religions are characterized by presumptions of I know, via scriptural authority, ecclesiastical doctrine, historical precedent, and so on. In contrast, the spiritual devotee for non-duality starts from the basic, more truthful position of I, of myself, don't know. Question: what is the difference about the pathway of devotional non-duality compared to traditional teachings? What is the difference about the pathway of devotional non-duality compared to the traditional teachings? Answer: it is characterized by the elimination of all trappings of non-essentials, for time is short and narrow are the gates. It is therefore not pertinent to the past, that is, to doctrine, dogma, historical rituals, personages, events, or belief systems. Empowerment is from within by assent of the will. Truth stands forth of its own when the obstacles are removed. The call is from within rather than a response or to exhortation from without. The source is both interior as well as the destination. Spiritual information is now available for the first time that throughout history has never before been accessible. The capacity to identify truth from falsehood and the degree of its expression is now a major asset and advantage. According to the consciousness research, the likelihood of reaching enlightenment is now approximately 1,000 times more likely than it was in the past. The spiritual evolution of humanity, just like the physical. Question: is not the pathway of devotional non-duality arduous? Answer: it is not the pathway that is arduous, but merely the degree of the ego's resistance to it. This resistance is overcome by invoking the will, which then institutes the spiritual capacities for dedication, effort, and willingness to surrender obstacles. Devotion invites power of love, by which humility removes the ego's props and positionalities. It also activates the utilization of information that is transformative. Intention energizes willingness, which thereby enables transformation to replace the limitations consequent to resistance. To adopt the pathway of devotional non-duality recontextualizes the obligation to the pursuit of truth rather than worldly involvement in action. How best to serve the world is concordant with comprehensions. Commitment is the core of truth itself, and it is free of seduction by proselytization or secrecies. all that is necessary is the curiosity and attraction to truth, which is complete, total, and self-sufficient. If you're enjoying the reading, please subscribe to Context is Everything Media Network. John Michael, founder and CEO, says yes. The infinite I is the subjective reality that underlies the individual I, and allows the experience of I-ness as one's existence. It is the absolute I that enables the statement I. Consciousness, or the capacity for awareness, is formless and is the backdrop from which form can be identified. Ultimate truth is realized as pure, radical subjectivity. It is revealing and beyond argument. The source of the highest spiritual truth is non-mental. The intellect has difficulty comprehending this critical fact because the mind is intrinsically dualistic and limited, experiencing a this, expecting a this to come from a that. In the advanced spiritual reality, duality dissolves because this is the that. The seeker and the sought become one, and the transcendence of the limitation of duality, that is, realization of the self, eliminated by the enlightenment. A religion primarily addresses the realm of duality, whereas the enlightenment addresses non-duality. This strict path to enlightenment says that in as much as duality is illusion, there is no point in trying to perfect it. Therefore, the ego is to be transcended and seen for the illusion that it is. Good personhood is laudable, but it does not of itself result in enlightenment. The possibility of reaching enlightenment is based on advanced understanding of the nature of consciousness itself. When the conditions include mindset, intention, and dedication are favorable, a decision may arise to drop everything in the world. One might then throw oneself totally into the all-out, go-for-it, continuous laser-like focus, surrendering of the perceiver, experiencer aspect of the ego. This process takes one quite rapidly beyond the mind into the very processing edge of the experiencer. This processor edge is actual locus of ordinary sense of I-ness, and it creates a 1/10,000th of a second delay between reality, the world as it is, Descartes' res extensa, and the world as it is perceived or experienced, Descartes' res cognitans. This separation is the crux of the locus, the self-illusion of duality, which obscures comprehension of the intrinsic reality of non-duality, the self. With transcendence of the illusion of separate, individual personal self, there emerges the radiance of one and oneness of the self, by which all life, whether denoted as subjective or objective, is recontextualized into oneness. That's all for today. Enjoy. Have a good day. God bless. Please subscribe if you made it this far. John Michael at Context is Everything. Thank you.